Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 20 of Bungou Stray Dogs Season 2, or episode 8, depending on which one you're looking at. And I'm going to get right into this review because I do have to get going in a couple minutes. I got to go watch something else in a little while, so I got to do all this stuff really fast. So, this episode was really interesting, actually, overall. Kyoka, as we saw last episodes, came in to try to save Atsushi, and she actually does a good job of that. But they get pulled over by the police that show up at the port, and she attacks them, and Atsushi brings her away to get, to kind of save her, but unfortunately run into the same guys they're trying to escape from, and Atsushi gets hurt by, of course, this guy over here is Mark Twain, or Mark T as they put him, who is the creators of Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. He is apparently a good sniper slash using weapons in general. He shoots at him, and Atsushi basically goes down for the count. He gets taken by the guild, unfortunately, and we see Kyoka actually like almost feel horrible, like she really feels terrible that he was taken away. And what was interesting by the way was that he's taken away by also the guy who wrote, I think it's Herman Melville. He wrote Moby Dick. He summons a giant whale creature, which is a giant whale airship, which that makes sense, right? Here's a picture of it in a couple seconds. That thing, yeah. They essentially though have a 2 week skip of time from here on out, so they show what essentially happens, or not 2 weeks, excuse me, a week skip of time, and we see that they run into the creepy guy Lovecraft over here, and Lovecraft runs into Q, and Q and Lovecraft have a very interesting little kind of, I want to say, meetup of all things. Q's thinking of, or excuse me, Lovecraft is making in his head like what a balloon animal should look like, gives him like this weird tentacle thing, and Q attacks him and tries to show him like this weird imagery, but is unfazed by it because Lovecraft is creepy as shit, and so they actually are able to abduct Q despite him using his illusion ability. So that's a thing. And we find out why the guild wants him, because they have a plan and set where they have the doll being a factor, and also his power that he's able to touch things and influence the things he touches, and at the same time the guy with the grape ability that was able to put the grape in his neck and then control trees is controlling all the trees in Yokohama, and also at the same time thus letting the kid use his influence to make it so all the trees and all the people around the trees and all that are affected by the influences of the illusion stuff. So that's very interesting. Now Atsushi is trying to figure out a way of escaping. He runs into the girl with the creepy doll dimension, and she talks to him about, like, he hopes that she'll let him escape. She's like, you don't understand my pain, you don't understand like why I want this world to burn, people, you don't understand what I'm going through. And he's like, yeah, dude. He lifts up his shirt, shows some scars he got that were very similar to her scars. So he clearly knows what she's going through, and she actually helps him escape by using her dollhouse ability to make this dollhouse, and also at the same time lead it outside. And she says, listen, you can come back for me eventually. Just make sure you come back for me, because she's safe in there, but apparently to stay safe in there, she has to stay in that dollhouse until he reaches out for her. So yeah, hopefully Atsushi deals with what he has to deal, because I mean, otherwise she's gonna be in that dollhouse for a long time while they all deal with their various influences. Now he escapes the giant Moby Dick airship, which still is very strange to me. I don't know why that's a thing. To be assaulted by Huck Finn over here and his little tiny Tom Sawyer thing, which apparently shoot out giant like metal bullets that are able to be controlled and stuff like that. And Atsushi looks like he's falling, and throughout that fall, he has something very interesting happens where he actually meets his inner tiger, and they all talk together. Like, it doesn't literally talk to him in a literal sense, but he talks to it in a sense that he's like, I don't like what you are, but at the same time I need to understand that you are part of me. And he thanks him for everything that he's done for him, because he has kept him safe. His power has kept him alive, and that actually helps him survive. Like, he hits the ground but is able to survive perfectly using the tiger's power. And he runs off through the city, which the city's seen a lot better days. The city is under ruin and under chaos from all this terrifying illusion stuff, and Atsushi looks like he's about to fail, but luckily, as he's about to fail, a certain figure, all the fangirls react at the same time. It's coming up. I'm just going to build up the tension for it. I mean, you know who it is if you're a fangirl of the series. It's not surprising. I just have to keep building that tension. I want to build it up. I want to build it up. Here it is. Ready? Ready? And Dazai shows up and saves the day and actually disrupts the curse, and he activates this smoke screen, which allows them to escape into the inner tunnels of the city. And that is where Atsushi tells him, I have a plan. he goes, Atsushi's plan is essentially very interesting, where he says we have to work with the Port Mafia because the Port Mafia is actually trying to protect the city. And if they do this correctly, the Port Mafia will help them protect the city from all the pains and all that stuff, at the same time helping them take down the guild, because the guild is stronger than them by themselves. Anyways, very interesting episode, very powerful. I do love that Atsushi, the actual author's line, his, my head may be full of herb, but my blood is not. That line is actually said by Atsushi, which is in real life the person who made that line, which is Atsushi. So I thought that was very interesting. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. It's coming out late, but hey, the episode came out late because it was delayed today. Anyways, I will talk to all of you later. Have a great night. Bye bye.